the badge she carried in the heart of Charleston, South Carolina, a city scarred by history. Yet cloaked in Southern charm, Dr. Amina Cole had just returned home after 8 years abroad with Doctors Without Borders. She was known across continents for stitching up wounds where bombs had fallen and hope had run thin. A Harvard-trained trauma surgeon, Amina had come back to lead a major medical initiative, Project Grace, a new program aimed at providing free healthcare in underserved communities. Across the American South, Amina's skin was the color of rich mahogany, her voice steady, her presence radiant. But none of that mattered one rainy Thursday morning when she walked into a local clinic dressed in a simple hoodie, jeans, and a tired look that said she'd just pulled another 24-hour shift. The clinic was nestled in a conservative part of the city whitewashed walls. Country music, trickling from a dusty speaker, and a waiting room full of tired eyes as she approached the front desk. A nurse glanced up, middle-aged, tight-lipped, with hair pulled into a severe bun. Her name tag read M. Trenton. Without looking directly at her, the nurse said, "Medicaid's full today." Amina raised an eyebrow. "Excuse me?" "I said we're not taking any more walk-ins," the nurse said, her tone growing colder. "You'll need to go somewhere else." Amina stood still for a moment. She wasn't there for treatment. She wasn't even there to work that day. She was there to quietly observe part of a preliminary audit for Project Grace, designed to evaluate healthcare equity in local facilities. "I'm not here as a patient," Amina replied. Calmly, the nurse looked up, her eyes narrowing. "Then what are you doing here?" Amina reached slowly into her coat pocket and pulled out her badge, solid silver, engraved with Dr. Amina Cole, Chief Medical Officer, Project Grace, the seal of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services shimmered beneath it. The nurse's face blanched in an instant. Her hands trembled. Her mouth opened and shut like a faulty hinge. I didn't realize you're with the project." Amina's face was unreadable. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't curse. "She didn't need to tell me, Nurse Trenton," Amina asked, eyes locked on hers. "How many people do you turn away like me every week?" the nurse stammered. "No, it's just that we get overwhelmed. And sometimes there are protocols and protocols," Amina interrupted, still quiet. "Do your protocols include judging patients by the color of their skin? By how they're dressed?" The nurse looked down. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'm not the one you need to apologize to." She turned to the waiting room where a young black woman sat with a toddler, visibly anxious. An elderly Hispanic man clutched his chest every few minutes. None of them had been spoken to since she'd arrived within weeks. Trenton was suspended pending investigation. But the story didn't end there. Because Amina didn't want vengeance. She wanted change. She initiated an internal program called Vision Check, not for eyesight, but for hearts and minds. It was a radical idea. Anonymous mystery patients of different ethnicities and economic backgrounds were sent into clinics all over the state to measure treatment disparities. The results? Staggering. Hundreds of cases, subtle and not so subtle, were documented. What started as one woman confronting racism in a clinic turned into a statewide policy shift in healthcare hiring, training, and accountability years later. At a national healthcare summit, a white woman with nervous hands approached Amina. She had aged, her bun now streaked with gray. "It was Trenton, I went through your training," she said softly. "At first, I hated every minute. Thought it was all just guilt and politics. But now, I work at Grace South, under a black nurse manager. And last month, I stopped a colleague from turning away a Haitian man." Amina paused. "Studying her, then perhaps," she said, offering a measured smile, "you're beginning to understand the weight of the badge I carry."